Graham, Michael from the BBC.
Mike, how are you? Graham, alright?
It's nice to do these in person again. Obviously a good win at the weekend. I guess it's been a fun week in the camp because it's always nice when you won.
Well, it'd be a hard week, I would have thought. Yeah, we had obviously we had a game on Tuesday, and the lads had a real good positive week. The weather's starting to come in now, so as you could imagine, you'll have your difficulties, you'll have your hurdles when it comes to facility and training and getting on grass, which I suppose it's the same for every other club. Where we don't have exclusivity on that. So yeah, it's been a real positive week, and like everybody will know themselves, when you win games of football, the atmosphere, the banter is so much better. It's more enjoyable.
Do you have to adapt the training much when it is? I mean, obviously it's freezing at the moment.
Yeah, obviously you have to adapt. Sometimes, look, in my own career, I've done things in swimming pools, I've done things in car parks, I've done things just in gyms, indoors, squash courts. But now the modern day game, you've got the 4G, which are great facilities, but that's obviously frozen over as well. Pardon the pun, all-weather pitches that is frozen over. But hey ho, it's you have to be flexible, you have to be adaptable, and I think our group are. We've got enough work into us this week to cover all bases. So what comes their way this morning will probably be in the next hour or two. Will just depend on how quickly the pitches thaw out.
And how are you looking in terms of fitness? I don't know if you're going to give anything away, but how are you looking?
There's no issues. There's no issues. We've got one illness, and we've got one. Is it James Clark long term? Other than that, I think we're all fit and healthy. Again, like I said, we'll sit down. We'll have a roll call in about a half an hour. But up until this point, 9:15 on a Friday morning, I believe we have one illness and one long-term injury. Other than that, we're all fit, healthy, and raring to go.
The results good, fully fit squad. That's obviously two nice problems for you because it makes selection difficult in a good way.
I like positive problems. The lads are playing well. I thought the lads that went out and played on Tuesday actually performed really really well. They put a real shift in, and that was a lot of them that hadn't played in 4 or 5 weeks. So it was enjoyable to see that. Of course, it was enjoyable to carry on the winning feeling and the winning habits. Just keep building that culture, that environment. And fair play to them. They've gone out and they've given me a bit of a headache when I'm selecting a team, and that's all I ask for as a manager.
You've moved obviously nicely clear of the relegation zone. As things stand, obviously, I'm guessing your message to the players is you can't be complacent on that, and you've got to keep trying to push up as far as you can. Contrary,
most of the regular lads will tell you, I just win the next game. I've not, and I'm being genuine, I'm being honest when I say I've not actually looked at the league table. It's not actually my league table, so I haven't actually looked at it. When I do, I don't know. I don't really see the point in looking at it. All we're trying to do was build on the short term. Put some bits and pieces for the medium term, and as you probably know, football managers don't get long term, so trying to build things long term is not on my agenda at this moment in time. I've come in and basically my attitude was just try and build confidence and self-belief, just try and win the next game, just try and get change the mentality and just try and get some wins but under our belt. We're a long way short of where we'd like to be, where we'd want to be. But the league table, and I have to be honest, I have not, and I don't actually look at the league table or glance at the league table, to be quite honest with you. I might do come March or come April, have a little look and see where we are and what we're on, but at this moment in time, for me, our mentality is all about winning the next game.
Well, close to you in the league table at Doncaster. What are you expecting from them this weekend?
I hope I don't come across as being foolish. I wouldn't. Do you know what? I would not be able to sit here and tell you exactly where we are, and I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly where Doncaster is. So I don't know. It's just maybe if I'm top of the league, I'll look at it. But anywhere other than first position, I don't really consider as success. So we're looking for. We'll definitely get a tough game. Doncaster are a really good team. They're a real technical team. I think I'm not sure of their last couple of games. I think they've lost the last 2 games. Don't quote me on that actually. But yeah, I think they've lost the last 2. But they have traditionally they're technical team. They like to pass the ball through the zones, through the midfield. They have it's in their DNA. They have a philosophy at the club. So it will be a stern test. It will be a tough test. They've got some really good players, and of course they've got a new manager who's recently come in as well. So we'll be in for a real tough afternoon.
There's a lot of points at stake in the next sort of month or so. It's such a obviously very traditional to the British game that we have this mad schedule over Christmas. Are you a fan of it? I guess you've been in the game so long, you're very used to it. But do you enjoy it?
Do I enjoy it? Like I say, I enjoy when you're winning. Yeah, I love it when you're winning. It's not a great Christmas if you're not winning. So put it that way. I'm not 100% sure where we go after Doncaster or who we play after Doncaster. And that again is going to make me sound like someone who doesn't know what's going on around him. But I genuinely just concentrate and put all our energies into our next fixture. I know we're going where we're going. We're going Hartlepool. So look, there's a bit of travel, but I don't tend to look beyond the next opponent. And making plans and arrangements would be Joe. Joe will be probably far better to tell you where we're staying, what we're doing, what time we're leaving, where we're going, our route. He does all that planning for me, so I can just concentrate on the games, to be fair. But yeah, there will be 4 or 5 games over Christmas, so it will be a tough period. It will be plenty of points on offer. You can quickly go one way or the other in a league table. So it's a festive period, and on the 26th, if I remember correctly, recall my own playing career, I think you do get a lot of the fans come out. It's a traditional day where most grounds are full, and most local derbies occur on the 26th. So yeah, sometimes it is a special period. But as management, as coaches, as players, you don't get an awful lot of time with your loved ones. To be honest, Christmas just comes and goes, really.
I think I probably can guess the answer to this, but I would suspect from what you've told me so far, you are not looking too far ahead to the January transfer window and possibly making changes to the squad, especially with things going well at the moment.
I don't need to change. I don't need to bring it. I don't need. What do I actually like? I've got a group of lads who are absolutely flying at this moment in time. I've got a group of lads then that went out on Tuesday and had some game time against Swindon and put in a hell of a performance. So look, if somebody said to me tomorrow, look, you can bring in 4 or 5 players, I'd say to you, well, what am I going to do with 4 or 5 players? There will be 1 or 2 additions, I would imagine. There will be 1 or 2 wanting regular first team football that might step aside and go and seek that elsewhere, and that's a transfer window at any club, really, not just theirs. But I'm not going to tell you lies. I do have my eye on a couple of players that I would like to sign and try and help bring to the club and help to improve the team. But as of yet, I've got to take my hat off to this group of lads. I think the performance last week was outstanding for 90 minutes. And to be honest, if there had been another half of football next week, we would have. Or last week against Crewe, we would have been in there as well, playing in that as well, because that's where their fitness levels are at this moment in time. They've really, really improved. So look, the previous question, there's a lot of water to go under the bridge between now and January, so you never know. You pick up 1 or 2 injuries or what have you, suspensions, players lose form. But at this moment in time, I've got a group of lads who are in form and who are going for their 3rd league victory back to back, and I don't think they've done that this season. I don't know when it has been the last time that the club has done it, but I'd like to, and that's our aim on Saturday, really. 3 on the bounce, 3 league victories on the bounce, back to back.
Final one from me, and incredibly, you're the 3rd Newport County manager I've asked this question to, but Wilfried Boney. Wilfried Boney, obviously, has been around the place since 2019. We keep asking the question, it's probably still perhaps unrealistic that the club could sign him, but fans are always, when there's someone like that knocking about the place for quite a lot of time in the year, they're always going to dream. Is that ever going to be possible, do you think, Wilfried Boney?
Well, if it's unrealistic, why ask the question?
Because that's my job. But I mean, situations change, don't they? And for every year that he's still here and still sort of part of the club, fans will dream.
I don't know when the last time Wilfried had a first team run out or a first team game, and I'd imagine it's a while back. His fitness levels, there's a lot of baggage to go, not baggage but positive baggage, would you say, to go, a lot of water to go under the bridge, a lot of bits and pieces. We've offered Wilfried obviously the training facility. He's been different class, he's been a great lad. His knowledge, his expertise, his experience around the place has been brilliant with the young lads. I've never really looked beyond anything like that. We've given him some game time the other day because we thought he'd benefit some of the young lads on the pitch to play with him, to get in around him. He would have to obviously work a little bit harder on his fitness, to obviously the way I am and the way that we are at this moment in time, the mindset, mentality that we have at the club. So he would have to work on that if he wanted to join us. But I'm not going to sit here and say no, the door is shut and never is never. You never say never in football. If Wilfried was up for it and he wanted it, we would certainly sit and talk to him. If he could improve his fitness levels and maybe we could sit and have that conversation. I'm open to anything, like I say, I'm open to anything. And the previous question, the January window, Wilfried's actually in the building, so it wouldn't take any settling in period or anything like that. So there's always a possibility. It's not something until they scored the goal on Tuesday that we had ever contemplated or I've heard. But obviously he scored a goal Tuesday and things get magnified. But I wouldn't say no. I would say that. But again, there'd be a lot of water to go under the bridge if it was to happen, because we are a dynamic team at this moment in time, and we have dynamic players. So it would have to take some fitness shift from Wilfried to come and join our squad.
Okay, thank you very much.
Brilliant.
What are the benefits of having Wilf here? What does he bring?
His knowledge, his expertise, his experience. Just chatting away to one or two of the lads. Players look at him and go, "Wow, his touch is different class. His hold-up play is different class." So when you have someone like that around the building, it's great pinching their knowledge. It's great pinching their experience. He's been there, done that. He's played in the Premier League. So that's unbelievable experience and knowledge to. I always just say to the young lads, go and have 2 minutes with Wilf. Go and ask Wilf a question. Go and find out a little bit. How has he got to that level? How has he maintained that level? How has he stayed at that level? And normally the kids go and ask a question. They go, wow, and they come away with a really an eye-opening answer, because it's really hard as a professional footballer to maintain your status and to stay at the top. To get to the top is hard, but staying at the top is tough. And to have that kind of experience, Wilf has travelled as well. He's been in, I believe he's been in Holland. He's been was it Qatar. So he's got that knowledge of other countries and how they do it and how they prepare and how they eat, sleep, drink, preparations before, during, and after games. So it's brilliant to be able to tap in and just ask some general questions.
The coaches learning off peers is brilliant, isn't it? For whether it be Matthew, Mickey, Dimitri, for young players to learn off their peers, not always just going to your Joe, Mark O'Brien. It's going to teammates is invaluable, isn't it? Yeah,
the one thing in football is we don't know it all. We don't know it all. Every single person, the most experienced footballer in the world, won't know it all. So football is you pool your knowledges, you pool your experience, you pool your maybe ideas, and once you have a strong pool of ideas and you can make plans from there. But yeah, the experience is massive for me, and anyway, and the knowledge. And when somebody's been there, done that, got the T-shirt, you kind of tap into them a lot more than you would somebody else. But yeah, nobody knows it all. It's a very open dressing room, open office. We all pinch knowledge from each other, and that's learning. And every day, what do we say? Every day is a school day. Every day is a learning day. So. And it's enjoyable. It's a real enjoyable environment at the minute. It's a real enjoyable environment that the players have built.
You mentioned the crew performance. You had the better of the first half, but second half seemed to really push on. What did you really like about that second half?
Other than the fact that we won, the fact that we've come from behind, we showed character. Because we'd been in front in was it Derby and Stockport. We'd been in front at half time in them. It was a real test of character, because we'd not been behind certainly since I'd come in, and it was the first time we'd been behind at half time, and I knew they'd react, but I didn't know they'd react so well. If that being Crewe's a very good team. Crewe's a very technical team, similar to Doncaster. And the way we ran over them, the way we played, the way we passed the ball, the way we got down sides, we recognised spaces, we put balls in the boxes, we locked it down, second balls. Our finishing, you know, we'd in 6-yard box. That's not often. That's not often we get a striker in the 6-yard box and he finishes. So yeah, it was. I thought it was really positive. I thought it was a really good, professional, powerful display. But don't underestimate the way the boys moved the ball and played football in the second half. They latched onto things, and I don't know. I think what did the stats say? 79% of the game was ours. We spent 79% of the game, in their half. And I thought that was powerful away from home against a real good team. I loved the way the boys were switching play and rolling it out wide and combining on the outside as well to put balls in the box. It was really, I don't want to go overboard, but it was really encouraging to be fair. And all I'd say to them is just keep them standards. Just go and do that again. Maintain your standards. That's all I would ask of them.
And you mentioned development game. You've both been clear, haven't you, that it's players' shirt to lose, as it were. If you've got the shirt, you keep it rather. But they're keeping the heat on those starters, which is exactly where you want to be.
Well, I think we spoke earlier about the Christmas period, so there'll be plenty of football over the Christmas period. So I thought the game, we've got another one next week as well. So I thought the games, the development games, the reserve games, if you like, are very important to the lads that are not in the squad, because if they're to go in over the busy Christmas period, if they're to go in, they have to be topped up. They have to have the minutes under the belt. They have to have the game time under the belt. So it's important that we get games, particularly going into the busy periods, because I would envisage, with the amount of football that we play, it will become a squad game over the Christmas period.
And that was good opposition as well, which is key as well, isn't it? Johnny Williams playing Shea.
Yeah.
You know, so that's important for the players that get in the chance as well. They don't want to be playing, what I mean, chipping them all. They want to be playing against strong opposition. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Definitely. And they were strong. They were very strong, in fairness to Swindon, and we enjoyed that. We enjoyed that challenge. But it wasn't only the senior lads. I thought some of the young lads that came in and played, I thought they shone as well. They stood out and they shone, and it was a great experience for them to be sharing a pitch with a very strong opposition who had plenty of league appearances under the belt, and plus our own lads to be sharing a pitch with our own senior players. Because I always say, if you've got good seniors, you'll have good juniors. And some of our young lads, they really shone the other day. They really stepped up and shone. And I'm really pleased with what I'm seeing from some of the young lads at this moment in time.